Hey, we have returned with another episode of Terra Invicta, our little D&D show that we're playing here on Thursdays. And it's been a hot minute since we've been able to play. When actually has it been? Like, when was the last time we played?
Can we call it a cold minute, please?
I think it was before Thanksgiving, right?
It was way before Thanksgiving, so. I feel.
I just had YouTube up, but I deleted it, so.
You deleted YouTube? How could you?
YouTube, but you know.
Please, can you do that to Twitter?
Elon Musk's working on it.
It was 2 Thursdays before Thanksgiving, I think.
It was November. Well, I posted it on November 17th, so whenever that was.
So it's
been over a month. Then.
Or November 15th. Yeah, whatever that was.
November 10th is the last time.
That makes sense. Yep. Cool. Okie dokie. So, when we last left our heroes on Terra Invicta, they had just stopped off at the Tiefling village of Anumi Bay and had, resupplied and done some character interactions such as rejecting Lavinia, not salty about that at all. And then you fought some demons, rescued a water spirit. Deli talked to a cow that was apparently a dude at some point and got turned into a cow.
Wait, was it what?
A dude.
Oh, okay. I thought you said demon for a second. I was like, wait, I didn't know that.
Whoops. And I spoiled it. No. And now the adventure turns, instead of going south, it's going to turn,
let's face it, things are always going south for us.
West here in a second. You're almost all the way down to the coast, south that you're going to go, and then you're heading across the ocean into the open ocean, which is going to be a little bit harder to navigate.
Can we see the map of that?
Yes. Which one are you guys on right now? Oh, let's see where
we're on the ship.
Yeah, there you go. So you're right over here, the very, very bottom of the map here in Numi Bay. And the only thing that is planned that landmark wise that exists between here and there is the island of Kunha, which is basically just like an uninhabited island. Maybe there's some monsters there that you can fight, but there's no
just like a checkpoint.
Yeah, it's just kind of a landmark mainly. And then from there it's just open ocean to the Isle of Dread. The open ocean could hold anything, so who knows what's gonna happen, but
probably Jinn.
Yeah, that's true. There might be more Jinn. Who knows? I do have some. So I was debating whether or not I was going to reveal this mistake that I made, but I'll go ahead and reveal it. So Alyssa, the other day when we were talking about Terra Invicta, she was like, "Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like the season's been dragging. It's been fun and everything, but we've been on this boat for a long time." And I was like, "You know what I forgot to do?" And I looked at my list of the adventure, and I was like, there's a whole list of random vignettes that can happen whenever there's blank space. And I was like, I have been ignoring these the entire time, and they're little fun little things that can happen and might spice up the endless boat travel. And I was like, well, let me see if I can find a way to fit all of these in before we actually.
We've had a lot of Jinn to run into.
Yes, so I haven't actually re-rolled. I haven't rolled any actual random encounters in terms of coastal or open ocean or whatever things for the next bit here. But I did find these vignettes in a little document that I had and sprinkled them throughout the next stage of stuff. They're not necessarily like any of the things we have rolled. They're not necessarily things that you have to fight. It's just stuff that's gonna hopefully spice up a little bit. What will otherwise be just normal travel that is nothing happens on.
Well, in your defense too, Caleb, we did solve a lot of the mysteries fairly early, right? So I mean, some of those things could be going on.
Indeed.
So
the whole sword thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
No, I meant the stowaway.
Oh, right.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
That.
That was day one.
Fernando. We figured all that out pretty quickly.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Deli got cut open.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But
me and Nestor already broke up.
Right. I was noticing that though. I was like, man, yeah, it has been kind of blank. Nothing has happened. And I was like, oh, that's because this is literally stuff I was supposed to be putting in and then didn't. But it's fine. It's fine. We're getting close to the Isle of Dread, either way. So Let me check real quick. It is February 6th when you head out from Nimibe, right? Morning of the 6th. And the next thing on like the list, so you're going to go down the coast for like 2 more days and then head west for 2 days. And then after that, you'll still be in the open ocean, but you'll arrive at the Benguela Current. So it's obviously, it's not like a landmark or anything, but there will be like a stretch of current there that will be more difficult to traverse. And I've already rolled all the navigation stuff in advance. So when we get there, I'll just let you know what the navigator has rolled. Because it's like I think the Blue Nixie navigator is the one who's been rolling all these. But yeah, I think first we just see the Sea Wyvern head off from Nimibe off down the coast again. And you still have 2 days of travel down the coast. But if there's any conversations you wanted to have or follow up on or whatever before we kind of hit the first like random thing that's going to happen down the coast here, now would be the time.
Just hit up Audra and ask him about talking cows.
What do you know about?
I can't think of anything other.
Given Audryn's Arcana rolls, he might know a thing or two about polymorphing people. So.
Audryn, do you know how to make someone not be a cow?
Deli doesn't know.
I mean, if you give them enough ale, probably should help.
Just get the cow drunk.
No, being a cow as in.
I got it, Jordan.
Somebody, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Are
you actually asking this, then, Dudley?
I mean, I might as well. Yeah. I don't know what to do about it.
I need to look up if I made any notes about this stupid cow.
So, wait, what is it that Deli asked?
You know how to make someone... This is going to be a weird question, Audryn, but do you know how to make someone not be a cow? I met someone and they got turned into a cow, but they don't know how or how long ago. And I'll admit, I know a lot about animals, but this is out of my wheelhouse.
The amount of puns that can be made in this situation are deplorable. I didn't even respond to that.
That is a good question.
It is the question.
Well, Caleb, can I roll to see if there's any sort of polymorph knowledge that I've perhaps gained while I've been studying at the
of course
league?
What is Audryn except for happens to know everything?
According to my calculations and my studies
library.
From this one book that I read, once upon a time.
It'd be an awesome time for a crit.
What am I rolling here?
Arcana.
Arcana? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, it wasn't a crit, but it was about the second best thing. So 29 on Arcana, and the question was, what do you know about making someone unpolymorphed from a cow?
Not be a cow, essentially. Yeah. I don't know if Deli would know the word
and once the miscommunication of Audryn making puns about, what you mean by this, and you get down to actual brass tacks about what's happening. Audryn, I mean, it depends on how powerful because like if it was like an actual polymorph spell, then obviously D&D has like rules for that. Did you try anything? Oh goodness, did you actually try anything, Deli, on that dude?
Deli doesn't have anything really. That's the thing. I have I don't have any spells that. Let me double check. It's been a while since.
Yeah, so regular polymorph apparently it has a duration of an hour, so it wasn't that. Let's see, true polymorph.
Well, and that might be something Audryn asks is was it a polymorph or was this like a curse?
I don't know. I don't have a way to remove curse, and I don't The only thing I don't even have like I only have ways to bestow curses, not ways to remove magic or remove curses. I can detect magic. I could detect that it was transmutation magic, but that was it.
Yeah. So according to the compendium, I just looked up the polymorph spells. In the 5e rules, like any of the polymorph spells have like durations. It's like they aren't permanent things. So this would have to be like a curse or some more highfalutin magical effect. Like a cursed item that they picked up, or summoned demon and got cursed by the demon, or something like that. And honestly, did not have a chance to listen back to the last episode, so I'm not entirely sure what I said from his perspective that would have given you clues.
He didn't even remember who he was.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So he's like, I don't know how long I've been this cow, or who I even was before I was the cow.
I don't think I made a note. I don't think I wrote down who this person was, so I really hope that when I listen back to the episode, I'll remember, because I don't remember what I had in mind.
Caleb, you can't have thrown a man polymorphed into a cow.
I'm positive. I'm positive I had an idea for it,
and not.
What if it's another?
You did have an idea, because I remember you were like, "Oh, I got it."
No, I did.
But clearly, you did not write it down.
I didn't write it down. I don't think I did anyway. And hopefully, I gave enough clues in the dialogue I had between, for me at least, to remember what it was. Right?
Well, you didn't give us many clues.
Let me think about this for just a moment. So, like, it was.
Can we start looking for?
Oh, I remember who it was.
Hoofprints around the place. We could call them
Take notes.
Booze clues.
Yes, I will make a note. Right.
Make note of who they are, because we have no clue who they are. What a way to start off a session with a cow.
Uh-huh. All right.
So I do have a question, Caleb.
Yes.
How do I have 14 negative temporary hit points? I remember that put them there for something.
I think you had it was the demon mosquito things that you fought last time. Like, I think those would have gone away with a long rest if I remember correctly. Let's see. The Casme is right here. Let me look at his stats here.
Was it a long rest or was it like 2 days?
It is long rest, yes.
Okay,
so when you finish a long rest, you're good. You go back to your normal maximum. Yep. And so in terms of like the 29 that you got, Audrin, just from what Deli knows, right? Like if you hadn't just left Namibe and you went into the field to like talk to the cow, like you'd be able to find out a lot more. But having just left and just knowing what Deli is telling you,
I'll be back.
You know that, maybe. You know that like I'm not saying you're gonna die or anything, Seth, but
you don't know with you. We never know with you.
Well,
he might just sink the island.
That's true. You know that it's not like a regular polymorph spell. It must be like a curse of some kind. What it came from could be any number of things. Losing his memory too is definitely like one of the dead giveaways that it wouldn't be a normal polymorph anyway, because like obviously it doesn't do that. You still retain your mind, more or less.
Although, if they're losing their memory, it does call to mind the memory loss place that we went.
There's definitely like what's the word I'm looking for? Similarities there. So your guess would be like with a 29. This is a very educated guess, but it's probably related to the demon stuff that's been happening. So it would be unlikely for it not to be related to that. But you don't know specifics. Again, if you went and talked to the cow again, then maybe, but it's probably just like another thing that Audrin's just like, okay, there's some weird memory thing going on. This guy's part of it, and maybe he doesn't matter, but like this larger thread apparently matters. So
okay, I've got a new campaign theory, guys. You ready?
Okay.
War going on between the jinn and demons.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting ready to scale up for this big old huge war. And something that our fish djinn friend did, one of the wishes that he granted was, I guess the rules, but it was directly opposed to the demon stuff for the djinn's cause. That's my next That's my next campaign theory.
Interesting.
My theory is that the demons are turning people into cows, so they're more harmless.
That would certainly work. I'm not saying that's not a good idea.
Can't fight people if you're a cow.
Whether or not they want to fill the world with just cows, I don't know. But
I mean, maybe they like burgers.
I suppose so. Yeah. I mean, at the very least, it's certainly thematically appropriate for demon overlords to make all of their subjects into cattle, even in a proverbial sense, right? Whether or not a literal sense. So, a classic Attack on Titan, home is a pen, humanity cattle. Maybe there's some stuff going on there. But yep. But besides that, you probably don't have any other threads to pull on right now, Audrey.
Okay.
Cool. Any other thing that anyone wanted to do or follow up on in the immediate? Otherwise, we can continue on with the voyage.
Onward and third.
You're cutting out a little bit, Jordan, so I didn't hear you right there.
I said onward and forward.
Yes,
in a silly voice.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Let me grab a note. So, as you are traveling down the West African, I guess South African coastline at this point, you're getting down pretty deep here. You're still along the coast for 2 more days, which is a good 100 miles of coastline. So there's still, plenty of coastline before you actually head out into the open ocean. But the first thing you notice is, and it would probably just be whoever's on watch. It would be like during the day sometime on February 6th. But whoever's I think we've said Anna's in the crow's nest, so that makes sense for her to have to notice this first. But you notice that you start seeing, first you start getting a stretch of coastline that is home to vast kapok trees. So like super huge, big, thick trunked and thick limbed trees that are kind of hanging out over the ocean. And at first it's just like, okay, cool, big trees. But then Anna, you as you're kind of glancing at them closer, as you guys are traveling along the coast next to them, you notice that there's hundreds of tribal ornaments in the trees as well. And there's also numerous desiccated corpses of lizard folk, you think. Some reptilian thing, so that's your first guess, hanging from the boughs. The trees are also filled with strange fetishes, masks, and totems. And yeah, that's what you notice as you were passing by. It's just kind of this creepy, maybe there's some cloud cover, so it's not as bright of a day already as it maybe would have been otherwise. There's just kind of this weird, kind of grim atmosphere to the trees as you watch by, but you don't see any things in the trees about to shoot at you or anything. It's just this kind of weird, creepy ambiance at first.
I think I see that, and I feel like I'd be kind of unsettled by it because it seems like it might be some sort of weird, either voodoo kind of or religious kind of thing. And so I would climb down from the crow's nest and maybe find Takwi and just kind of be like, hey, there's some really creepy stuff on shore. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah, who told them to drink some Kool-Aid?
What's Kool-Aid?
Oh yeah.
No, Takwi would just be like, oh, ooh.
Do you remember that elemental we summoned that one time?
The Kool-Aid elemental?
It was his fault he did this. I knew it was bad.
Thank you.
Had to.
Yeah, Takwi will just kind of go to the edge of the boat, look out, and be like, oh, yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of have a weird feeling about it.
Can I make would a perception check me any more information, or could I make a religion check of some kind to
either of those make sense. Yep. Probably, yeah, either perception or religion can tell you things.
I have a +6 to religion, and I'm trained in it. So
I don't have religion trained, but I do have a +5 in perception.
So I can assist you for advantage then.
For religion?
Yeah, so you can get advantage.
Yeah. Well, is advantage better or is a +6 better? I feel like
I think +6 is better.
+6 is better.
What's your bonus on it, Takewee? Just straight?
+2.
+2. It'll be about the same, given how advantage works. It's usually like a plus or -4 if you have advantage or disadvantage. That's like what the math.
+2.5 is what I heard.
No, it's at least that's what I read. Given like, yeah, you're doubling your chances basically, right?
Or maybe it's 3.5.
I feel like I would just make a perception check. I don't know if we would actually make a religion check.
So I'll make a religion check and you can make a perception check.
That's what I was thinking.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so with a 10 Takewee, there's nothing else really to see here. But with a religion check on a 19, Anna, nothing immediately jumps out to you. It looks like just like kind of normal tribal stuff. It doesn't immediately look like tiefling stuff. But you're not entirely sure. Like there's a number of savage races like lizard folk and bullywugs and all those sorts of things along the coast and in Africa and various places. So it's probably one of those, whether or not it's like lizard folk who hung up their own people corpses. Maybe this is like a weird burial ritual, or if it's like a different savage tribe that is like hanging up bodies of their enemies. It's kind of hard to tell. With a 19 though, you do notice one icon that's kind of standing out in the fetishes, and it's like a double-headed. Well, it's a number of double-headed things. So you see like a double-headed snake, you see a double-headed lizard, you see a double-headed ape, and you see a double-headed like squid thing in various points. But like there's like 2 heads is like kind of like the theme you see between all the, not all of them, but like a prominent one.
They look naturally double-headed.
No, so like this is like carved stuff. Yeah, these are like carved idols and fetishes and yeah.
Oh. I was about to say that has reminiscent of when we ran into like the weird animal things.
Well, honestly, maybe there is like one double-headed lizard that you think is a real lizard, but it's also like a distance away that you're seeing this, so it's hard to tell. It's not outside the realm of plausibility that one of them are real animals, but But yeah, I mean, nothing like you don't see movements at all. Nothing shoots at you. You're just kind of passing by it. It goes on for a while though. Like even if you're just like standing there talking, like it's just as far as you like. Basically it's going to end up being like a 10-mile stretch that this is existing on.
Corpses.
The corpses, the fetishes, everything. Yes. And you guys can do whatever you want during that time. Nothing is actually, nothing's going to be planned to jump out at you. But if you wanted to like stop and like go search out some stuff, you certainly can.
I would say I would be specifically not wanting to stop. I'd be like, we got to get past this. I don't like this at all. This does not feel good to me.
Yeah, especially when it just keeps going.
I have a very bad feeling about this. This is not good.
If Deli notices that it's still going on for a long while, notices it and then notices it's going on for a while, she would probably cast as a ritual detect magic, just to see if she can get an idea.
It's only like 30-foot range, though, right, or 60 foot?
Yeah.
Oh, is it further than that?
I think it's
yeah.
Feet.
I mean,
we're not that close to.
No, I mean they're big trees and all, and some of them are hanging out over the ocean, but it's not like you're still not close enough to the coastline.
Never mind.
You could do that. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, but you're just seeing this from a distance. And it's not even that like every tree has like 4 corpses on it. Like this is scattered enough over the 10 miles that it's not like ridiculous to assume. Like it's not like thousands and thousands of corpses per se. It's just like lots of these trees are just ornamented throughout the 10 miles. But if you don't really do anything and just kind of like watch it as it exists creepily, you reach the end of the 10-mile stretch and then it ends in a kind of like a weirder thing. You see, you pass, so the trees stop and you pass a huge blackened valley. There may have been trees and maybe it looks like there's some like cut off, like some stumps of trunks along the valley edge. So maybe like they cut a bunch of these big trees down and or ripped them out, or however they did it, and put them in the middle of this pit to kind of provide some firewood. But there's like a blackened portion that definitely ends the line of trees. There's a huge blackened valley along the jungle shore. And if anyone wants to like look at it further, you can see there's something like besides ashes in the pit, but you're not sure just from the boat. So you just pass by it without doing anything. But
I don't suppose I could make another perception check, or are we just letting mine ride?
You can do that. You can do that. It's a different thing.
Okay.
Yikes!
Wow.
Yeah. With the crit fail,
What black pit? I don't know what you're talking about.
The forest is beautiful over there. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Black, my favorite color. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
what a cool idea. We should all paint the trees black.
Here's the thing, because player Emily really wants to investigate what it is, but
yeah,
Anna would be very against. This seems very evil.
Yeah, very creepy.
Not good.
Trying to think of if Deli would even be like around watching all of this.
Up to you.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't personally. Takui is like the master of deferring right now. She's like, it's up to Audrin or it's up to Lavinia if we stop. We've already taken a lot of blows right now, so I don't know if we want to like get sidetracked.
Oh, actually, okay.
But Takui is down to investigate as long as like people are okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask Lavinia, she would be like, "Nah, let's keep going." But it is. Yeah.
Would I be able to roll insight if to realize what was happening here? Actually, Caleb. I was just looking at my stats. I
insight to realize what exactly?
To get an idea of what the heck like maybe happened here.
I don't think.
I've been around. I may have.
I mean, if we're rolling an insight, I have a +9.
I was going to say you still don't know what it is. Like once someone actually succeeds on a perception check, then you could make an insight check maybe to like guess what was happening. But so you literally don't even know what it is. Like you don't know what's in the pit. Like it's just a black pit at this point.
No. I meant with all the people like hung up. Would I have been able to roll insight to see what was
religion check with Anna? We pretty much covered that already, right? It's just it's unclear given what it is, whether or not it's like a burial rite or like a warning. Anna doesn't know enough about this particular religion to tell.
Okay.
I will go ahead and do a perception check. It
makes sense if like Takui like goes up to you and asks, and then you're just like, okay, let me check this out myself. But I think we'll leave it if someone wants to give an advantage, that's fine. But I think we'll leave perception checks here. If
I can give
Audrin fails.
I can give him guidance.
Well, also, if both of you help him, you can give an advantage.
I will help you.
I was say I can help. Yeah, I have it trained, but I don't know if I can help.
I was gonna say I think normally we've ruled it that like if you've already failed this exact role, you can't really help someone else to do it. But at the very least, Deli and Anna can both help him and give.
I'll give guidance.
Yep.
Is it rolling?
Oh yeah. You roll a 19.
Rolled. You need a guidance roll though,
and that's good enough, honestly. But you can roll it.
Roll a D4.
I know you guys like seeing what
see if you can break 30.
Not quite.
Dang
22. Once Audrin takes a closer look with Deli and Anna, like on the side of the boat, everybody's like peering out at it now. You see, it looks like a vast sacrificial pit into which hundreds of what look like humanoid apes were thrown. It looks like it took place like a while ago. So like this is like maybe even like a decade or so ago. But for some reason, like birds and plants are just like completely absent from it. Right? They've just the wilderness has decided to leave it alone. Just like never return to this place. But it does look old for sure.
I want to do some sort of check to see if I can link it. If Audrin would be able to link it at all to
human stuff.
Human stuff, and more specifically like the stuff that the old man was doing when we were at the manor area. That Audrin knew, the professor guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
The wizard who was working for the Crimson Fleet. Yeah.
Yeah, to see if he could get it all in with that.
Sure. Yeah. You can make
an Arcana check. Would that be
check.
Arcana, history, or religion?
Any of those would tell you pieces of this. So honestly, anyone who would like to make any 3 of those can make them. That's fine.
Oh, what 3?
Arcana, Arcana, religion, or history.
I could give advantage for Arcana, but that's about it.
Yeah, you can say that. That's usually
I
the
know-
Delhi Audrin team.
Audrin has better Arcana than me
Right.
for some reason.
What's your religion, Audrin? I have +6, so I can.
I have 7.
Right, I
So,
forgot. Audrin's better
yeah.
at better than everyone else
Audrin's better
at their
at
things.
Everything.
I am not better at
Period.
perception.
That's true.
It's what you get. It's what he gets for being a rogue.
It's true.
Expertise.
I'll get
is
there
just
one
ridiculous.
day.
So yeah, Audrin, if you want to make both of those rolls with advantage, you can do so.
Well, for also I'm doing 2.
Sure.
One for
yeah.
Arcana and one for
Religion looks
religion.
like.
Okay.
Yeah. Whoa,
Oh my
Arcana
gosh.
crit fail. Well, I guess you had advantage. So yeah, 23.
Yeah.
Well, good thing you didn't have the crit fail, I suppose.
Religion
A
roll.
crit
Yeah, just gotta
fail
make them both.
11.
Yeah. 18. Yeah, I know, right? Ridiculous. And then Teku, you have history, right?
You're muted.
Yeah, I have history, so I can
Yeah.
give
Go
you
make another one,
advantage.
Audrin. Yeah, just make all 3 of them.
I was just like, let me just see if I can rack my brain with that, everybody, and we'll see if we can. Because if it is something tied to it, it would make sense.
Yeah,
if
you're
it's
just all
like,
brainstorming as a team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so gonna range from 18 to 23 here. I think you definitely get vibes that this is connected to whatever's going on with the Crimson Fleet. You've been getting a lot of recurring iconography now, right? And I'm trying to remember what have I'm trying to make sure I don't accidentally reveal something I don't want to reveal. But what do we know about that one? So Aquense, I think we named him, the one god who was like related to the weird shrine thing that made you lose your memories. What did you guys find out about that?
Wasn't
like
actually a god. He was a demon.
He's a demon. Yeah. Okay.
That's all I
And is
remember.
that it basically? Did anything else come up with any of the demon stuff that we got in season 2 or anything?
Let me see.
I feel like the god of chaos told me some stuff, but I don't remember it.
I don't know if there would definitely be. The only thing I'm wondering is if whether or not you got the real name of this demon. I don't know if you have yet. If you have, then yeah. If you have,
wait,
notes.
give me a second.
Aquense is the only thing that I have written. Aquensu.
Akensu isn't a god but a demon. Trade is a red herring.
I think there was something about like the current chaos god not knowing much about him, and he's trying to figure stuff out
He's
himself.
connected to the shadow pearls that have been
Yeah.
released into the world,
Yes.
which are connected to a pale reflection of the master pearl.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think we got an actual name from him.
But in terms of like this sacrificial pit, it's given the like weird fetishes that like were along the coast leading up to this, it seems likely that it is connected to the things you guys have been finding. And it's funny because like in a normal in any normal real life sort of situation, just because you keep finding a bunch of clues about demons wouldn't necessarily mean it's all the same demon, but given how the way D&D campaigns work, of course it is, right? Of course you keep finding the same stuff and it's leading somewhere because this is a story, not real life.
Because there are stories in real life.
Well, yeah.
Only tragedy.
Real life is a story, but you know what I mean. The connections are usually less clear in real life.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's... I think that what Audrin comes across is he doesn't like know enough probably about demons or particulars to like actually know the right one at this point. Because also keep in mind, what we know cosmologically is that a lot of these like outer plane creatures, like angels and demons, and you know like the weird frog things that are like chaos and all those things, they all were kind of like minimized during the reign of the Devourers because the Devourers like took over the outer planes and like made it their home and all this stuff. So there's actually like probably like a weird blank space in a lot of people's like collective memories and imaginations that hasn't. A lot of these things have been forgotten about these like ancient demons that used to rule the world and stuff before the Devourers came. And given the weird way the Devourers like made a bunch of alternate timelines and then like they collapsed on each other, who knows how all of that actually ended up working out. But like, I just don't think Audrin has enough pieces at this point to like actually put the right name to this thing. But one thing you do notice is you notice a pattern. You notice a pattern of creature types that keep like appearing in the fetishes and with this thing and with other things you've seen in the past up to this point. You notice that the two-headed pattern is definitely important. Not that like, this is kind of like for the entire stretch of coastline plus this pit that Audrin is doing this roll for. So it's not the pit itself that really gets off that point. But Audrin, you just have like a hunch that yes, whatever this demon is, it has two heads. And if we can kind of like find out what that's about, we might be able to figure out more of what's going on here. And whether or not that has like a direct connection to the chaos of the shadow pearls that like made weird deformed creatures, it maybe seems too easy that that's all that it is. It might be something else. You're not sure. But you do notice 3 creature types that keep appearing. Like reptiles, apes, and squid, and like weird like ocean creatures. So those are the 3 things that you kept seeing a bunch along the fetishes that you've seen in the past whenever this two-headed thing has come up. Obviously, there have been variations on this thing that haven't matched the pattern, but you keep seeing these 3 over and over again. And this last like pit that is filled with these all humanoid apes, you have like a weird theory that maybe, and this is like Audrin's amazing guesswork stuff, that like if you can find a library or something and like if you had a computer in front of you right now and you just typed in two-headed ape, lizard, squid thing, you know that a demon would pop up. You know that like those are the keywords you need, but you just don't know who that is, right? You don't actually know the demon, but you have like a picture in your mind now of like a weird like two-headed baboon. And maybe it's like a weird flash. Maybe you even remember seeing a very small glimpse of this on the ship that you were on in the Crimson Fleet. But like a weird two-headed baboon demon with like squid tentacle arms and like dinosaur legs, right? Weird kind of like, multiple animals mixed together demon thing.
Chimera?
No,
Chimera?
Yeah, I mean, I guess not in the same way that a chimera usually is, but yes,
Yeah.
Similar things. It definitely, again, fits the pattern of the shadow pearls deforming things as well. So you think that's probably connected as well, but you basically know at this point, if I find a library, I might be able to track this thing down. I might actually be able to find a name, and then that would actually open up the vault to me to actually know more about what this thing is. But you feel like you have the keywords necessary to do the research. And so you guess about this like pit in particular. You're guessing that this was some preparatory ritual 10 years ago that was like part of this giant massive plan, whatever it is that this demon is trying to concoct. And he like sacrificed an entire tribe of weird ape creatures to do this. And who knows if the lizard folk that were hanging up desiccated were part of it or not. You think maybe they were working, maybe it was like multiple tribes that were working together, worshiping the same demon, or he pitted them against each other, or who knows. But like it's all connected somehow, and you know that like this demon lord is behind it. And you just have to find a name now.
Okay.
Because once you have a name once you know something's name, you have power over it. But yeah, unless you guys want to check it out, the creepy ambience just kind of passes in the distance, and you move on.
I'm not stopping.
I figured.
We'll come back to this.
Yeah, I mean, if
On
it's
a different continent.
I think my thing is that if it's old, then it's like if it's like a decade old, then it's like okay, it's not pressing. Like we might be able to find some stuff out.
Yeah.
But
yep.
If nobody's in immediate danger, I feel like we're okay.
Yeah, it looks very, very old, for sure. But yeah, you guys pass down the coastline, and then you turn into the open ocean. And 4 days have passed. We kind of skipped through some stuff. Navigation has been good. Even out in the open ocean, you guys have been keeping on track. You're navigating by the stars and what other landmarks you can see. And you seem to be all the navigation rolls have been good. And it is now February 11th.
I just wrote down 10.
Or no, sorry, February 9th, sorry.
That is not 6, 7, 8. Okay, yeah, 9.
Yeah, February 9th. When you reach the Benguela Current. And the Benguela Current is where it's going to be probably the most difficult navigation of the whole trip.
Could you type that out, like
of course.
How it's spelled?
Yep. Benguela. It's Portuguese, I think.
I was going to say in Africa?
Well, yeah, in West Africa, which is colonized by the Portuguese pretty extensively.
Fair enough.
Angola is the second largest Portuguese-speaking populated country.
Indeed. The Benguela Current is so the little blurb I have written here is this section of ocean contains a hidden peril, the Benguela Current. This swift-flowing oceanic current sweeps in from the west before it hits the coast of West Africa and flows north. While the expedition has been able to use the coast to navigate despite it thus far, the unpredictability of the open ocean, coupled with the change of direction, can carry unprepared ships attempting this voyage hundreds of miles off course with ease. Because you're kind of like going against the current, and you have to like navigate it really, really successfully. You have to know the right winds and how to tack your sails so that you're actually going in the right direction. Lavinia's charts indicate the presence of the current, but determining when and where it starts specifically is a trickier prospect, as the current's exact shape and width vary. So once the PCs reach this area, the daily piloting checks to remain on course become more difficult, and nothing else besides this current stuff, like in the current, happens, except for the fact that I failed multiple navigation rolls in a row to the point where you basically have 5 extra days tacked onto the trip because you're just like floundering for a while, really having a difficult time making your way through this. And the main effect it has, it just makes everybody really tired and like sick of being on the ocean already. And just like, man, everybody's like really done at this point with the voyage and just like wants to get there. And so we just kind of have this like attitude that's starting to creep over everybody as like time again and time again for 7 days, basically. As you're trying to navigate this current, the navigator keeps saying, "I'm so sorry, like we're off course again, like I don't know what's happening." And a whole week passes of that, and it's very frustrating for everybody. But after that, after you finally get loose from it, and like the navigator's like, "Yep, we're finally loose, like we're past it." You're kind of greeted in like a more pleasant way, with a fun little kind of vignette. So the day is bright, great weather as soon as you're out of this current. Everybody's in higher spirits now that you're finally out of it. It's been a frustrating week. And it's February 11th now. No, sorry, February 18th, because I added extra. Yeah, there you go. Yes, February 18th. Wait, I need to remember. I only half did this math because I stopped making these notes halfway through. I need to make sure I'm actually doing this right. So it would be 2 days normally to get through this current, but you added 5 extra days, which means you reached
16.
Yes.
If we started
16th.
on the 9th.
Yep. 16th. So February 16th. And you finally have a break in the weather. It's been like just kind of cloudy and not actually stormy yet, but just like frustratingly dour and hard to navigate by the stars and all that stuff. So it's been frustrating. You finally have some good weather, clear daylight, and then suddenly, and it's probably like from one of the only remaining clouds, a flock of 6 wyverns just swoops down out of the sky. And at first, probably everyone's like freaking out because they're just like, "Oh my gosh, they're headed straight towards us." But they actually just end up like flying alongside the sea wyvern, and looking curiously at it. because
we're named after you.
I was gonna say at the figurehead of the ship is a wyvern, right? So they're like, what is this big giant wyvern thing? And it's just kind of like this kind of cute, funny little like tension breaking moment for everybody as like everyone's like, oh no, we're gonna be attacked by wyverns, but then they just kind of like frolic around the ship for a while. I don't know if you guys do anything particular, but that's what happened.
I could cast.
I'd bust out my Polaroid and start taking tourist pics.
Yeah. So Deli, I'm sorry, they're dragons. They're not animals. They're beasts. I know the amount of things in D&D that are actually
I can
beasts.
communicate with. Wait, they're not beasts then.
Mm-mm. They're dragons. They're dragon typed. Yeah.
Why can't I speak with animals if I can't speak with anything?
You can speak with actual animals, not fake D&D.
Not
animals.
actual animals, not the cool ones.
yes, that is true. Not the cool ones.
Man, I'm so sad I don't speak Draconic. That would be cool.
Wait, I speak Draconic. Do they speak Draconic?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't actually know if wyverns are intelligent enough. Let me check. They might be animal intelligence.
Dumb. We're named after stupid animals.
They have an intelligence of 5. So, okay, a language is not listed here. So they're intelligent, but they don't have language. So
does that mean they wouldn't understand language either?
No. Yeah. So you could attempt to communicate with them in some way, but it would more likely be like an animal handling or arcana check. Then you're not talking to them.
So, in that case, I probably do they get I'm just picturing them like swooping down and like kind of like skimming the
water.
Of the
exactly.
water.
Yeah, their wings are like skimming the surface.
So I would want to since I can run really fast, I want to like hop down and just like run alongside them for a second and just like wave.
Right. They're definitely very confused by that. I think a couple of them even just like bring up their wings and a wind like air catches them and they fly upward like very freaked out by the fact that you're just running alongside them. But then they kind of like start coming in closer again, and one of them is like right beside you, just like giving you a look.
Oh my god, they're like toothless.
I know, that's what I was like. They're so cute.
Aww.
Yeah, so if no one does anything more substantial than that, then eventually they kind of wing away off to the port side and are gone.
No, I'm too worried about getting attacked by 6
Yeah, 6 wyverns would be bad to be attacked by, so it's probably best to just say hi and leave them alone.
I'm just gonna wave at them.
Yeah, Takui will kind of like stand at the edge and like, do like a cute wave and be like, hi, wyverns. But
yeah, and I think
she's not going to like offer them food or anything like that, because then they're going to be like, ooh, birds coming back for more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Tavi Audrin has grabbed out his like little sketchbook and is like has been sketching like a picture of the wyverns alongside the boat. And he's fascinated by them and is taking some notes. Let me check if he has nature or arcana. He has both, actually. Yeah. So he probably knows something about wyverns already. So he's making some notes about like, oh, wow, I didn't realize that they flew in this particular way. And the books that I've read are wrong about this particular weird thing. And I was told they were all really aggressive.
Yeah, Anna's very like keen to see his crewmates all kind of taking everything in and kind of experiencing the relief of we're finally here. And Audrin's kind of taking in everybody else's excitement.
Yeah, and it's one of those moments for like a leader that are really, really like you're really thankful for, because there's no way you could have manufactured something like this to build up morale. But now that it's just kind of stumbled upon you, everyone's like tensions have just relaxed, and there's probably been like a lot of like frustration and like backbiting or not like snipping at each other with the crew and the passengers and whatnot over the last week, and it seems like that kind of dies down after this, at least for now. So cool. And yeah, so some days pass as you make your final approach to Kunha, the last landmark, before you You reach your destination, and yeah. Okay, I realize why my notes are weird here. Okay, I fixed it
because you wrote them.
So February 16th, and then it would be okay. Just editing my notes here. Wait a second. Okay. Making sure I have accurate notes here. You're making your final approach to Kunha. And I don't think anything else actually happens. I thought something did, but you see it in the distance. Unless someone has any, again, if you have any conversation you want to be doing it during any of this time, feel free to just interrupt me as I'm going through this narration. But if not,
yeah, I don't think so. Maybe talking to Kurgal, but I have no goal with it.
Mm-hmm.
What day is it, you said?
It should be the 16th when you arrive to Kunha.
Oh, I thought you said a few days past. I thought you said a few days had passed.
So February 16th would have been arriving at Kunha. I was including the 7 days were navigating the Benguela Current and arriving at this island. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think as you guys are approaching, after nearly 2 weeks on the open sea, land once again looms on the horizon. For a moment, you guys and your passengers maybe think that you've reached the Isle of Dread ahead of schedule. For sure, the passengers think that that's what this is, right? They're just like, oh, we've reached it. We're finally here. Anyone who's been looking at the maps or doing any of the navigating knows this is not the Isle of Dread. But at first, just like, oh, yay. And then once the news gets passed around, they're just like, oh, man. But you've only spotted the island of Kunha, an uninhabited island surrounded by perilous 1,000-foot-high cliffs and crowned with a tangle of thick jungle. Rumors have long held that Kunha is the lair of some form of terrible monster, yet the difficulty of even reaching the jungle peaks above have ensured that the isle's interior has remained unexplored. The expedition is not scheduled to stop at Kunha. Instead, its western cliffs serve as the last landmark on the way to the Isle of Dread. Beyond these cliffs, only 500 miles of open sea lie between the PCs and their goal. If you guys wish to explore Kunha, you could do so here. Lavinia doesn't have any particular qualms. She doesn't have any particular qualms about letting you stop to adventure because she knows you're adventurers. But it'd be up to you guys if you want to do anything like that.
I mean, Seth wants to stop, but Deli, I think, is like, let's just keep going.
I know it's the whole character dilemma. Takui doesn't want to stop, but at the same time,
I mean, I want
to stop.
Emily wants to stop, and I think Anna would be tempted to try and climb.
Oh, at the very least, anyone can make a perception check if they'd like. I think there's one thing you can notice about the island before you get too closer.
Who has the best perception?
Me.
I think it's
okay. Then I would help. I'm trained in it, so I'd probably help Takui.
Cool.
Wait, you're trained in it? What is it then? What do you have?
3. I only have a 3.
Oh, okay, I have a +5.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, the one thing I'm better at than everybody else.
Takui is the better scout. Yeah.
24.
So one thing you definitely notice, and it's not like it's immediately on the cliff faces, but once you get to the higher reaches of the cliffs, you do see something that it's just hard to tell exactly what it is without closer inspection. But you can tell that the tops of the cliffs are covered in giant spider webs. So not only would you have to climb up 1,000-foot high cliffs, but once you got to the top, there'd be an entire probably spider layer to deal with surrounding the crown of the island. It looks like a very dangerous place to go. You also have no guarantee that there's going to be anything in particular there. You don't know whether or not it's worth the risk. But you can make it if your characters think they would want to do that.
What if Audrin carries me up by flying, and I just like shoot a bunch of flames into the. He and I just like shoot a bunch of flames into the forest.
I feel like that would take longer and be more difficult than you're thinking. If you, I think.
Oh no, it definitely is. But I mean,
the amount of time that would actually take probably would be longer than Lavinia wants to spend.
Plus, if those spiders have any form of reach, you're in trouble.
Right.
Because in
and we put the boat, far off, and
well, yeah, but like your produce flame and firebolt do have certain ranges. So
yeah.
I'm not necessarily trying to dissuade
honestly,
you
I'm mostly just
particularly, but like honestly, someone could actually. Here's the thing: if someone wants to make a history check to like know more about the island, that could be something that someone does. Like, what is this worth it? Is there stuff
Back
here?
to Audrin.
Yeah,
that
okay.
could be useful.
Yeah. I'll go with the history. So does
I can help you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it. Yeah, with a 21, there's no stories about anything really intelligent living on this island. At the very least, nothing that would like make a civilization. There's rumors of like there's definitely like lots of rumors of like giant spider things, right? And there might be ettercaps on the island, which is like a kind of like humanoid spider-ish sort of thing. They kind of look like a mix between a troll and a spider, honestly. And they kind of like congregate in tribes. They might worship giant spiders that live on the island, but they'd be pretty savage and probably wouldn't have a whole lot of treasure with them. So, Audrin, as you're kind of like thinking about this, you're like, I guess like if we wanted to get a trophy, kill a giant spider maybe, and like get a cool trophy, that would be the biggest boon we'd get from this. But there's probably not any treasure on this island. So like if that's why we're going to explore it, then it's probably not going to be worth it.
Yeah.
And in a normal D&D campaign, the promise of just fighting something enough would be just fine because you get XP from it, but this campaign, not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the incentive, at least for Audrin and I, would be that we were on this island and we could bring big information back to the Adamant League. But
well, we could do like a flyover.
Us doing the Isle of Dread is already accomplishing that.
I was gonna say, yeah, the Isle of Dread is a very much more important. Like, it's not that this would be unimportant to do for the
well, I mean, we're gonna get the island. We'll get the Isle of Dread either way, though.
Right.
But I was gonna say, what is Takeaway's investigation?
Not good. My perception is so right, but my investigation is not very good.
Okay, well,
it's like a +2.
What would investigation would actively looking for stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say, what would it look like if Audrin just took Takeway and did like a flyover, and she had like a telescope?
We don't have a telescope, I don't think.
We have spy
glasses. We don't have
like a we do?
Spyglass.
Yeah.
Oh, they're expensive.
I would assume that our captain at least has been given a spyglass by Lavinia, so there's at least that.
So I was wondering if flying like overhead,
you could certainly do that. It would just be up to probably Takeway's investigation because you wouldn't be able to. Well, I guess honestly, if Audrin just goes by himself and flies above it and does a spyglass, then you can just do your own investigation, and that might actually be easier.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it's up to you, Jordan, if you want to go up there by yourself or if you want to have me there. It's up to you.
You're just stuck if something happens and you're by yourself.
True.
Well,
but also, I mean, if you're going to bring someone, I would maybe even bring Anna, though, because Anna has way more mobility than Takeway does. So if something does happen, you and Anna can get out.
Right.
I am quite speedy.
Anna could literally jump off the cliffs and land gracefully on the ocean below without ever harming herself. So
that's true. Well, I was thinking of just like flying overhead and then looking, but I mean, because it's for Adamant League stuff, I don't think Audrin would necessarily, because if it's Adamant League, I don't think he'd necessarily do that without Takui.
Right.
So if they like have a chance to go and get information later,
Sure.
and there's like not anything else that for or something, then
yeah,
maybe. But otherwise,
yep, makes sense.
Although this is that's totally an option, possibly if we're if we're like, well, we have this prisoner person and we don't necessarily want to kill them, but we need them out of here, so we're just gonna fly him over here.
Yeah, drop him on the spider island.
Yeah.
What's the one guy's name? The rich guy?
Oh, Avner.
Avner.
Yes, you
Hey,
could
Avner, wanna go
murder
see some
Avner.
spiders?
That's something you good characters could do.
Hey,
Yeah.
it would be like not necessarily just straight up murder.
Yeah, it would be a vacation that has a one-way ticket.
Sure.
It would be a learning opportunity.
You guys can tell yourselves whatever you want. Your alignment says differently.
The spiders would realize he's one of them. Gross and creepy.
No, the spiders would all be afraid of him because he's a snake.
Yes, insulting Avner and wanting Avner to die put aside. Do you guys just move on?
Yeah.
I would think so.
Sounds good.
Sadly.
As much as it would be nice for Avner.
I know.
To go away.
Cool. So you guys are continuing on past the island. And it's about, I think it's February 18th. And let's see, who has like the middle watch of the night again? I know we wrote this somewhere, but I always forget. Audrin has like the last watch, right?
No, I have the last watch.
You have the last watch?
I think Audrin might have the first.
It's me, Takui, Audrin, Deli.
Perfect. Yeah, so Audrin, I think. Yes. Okay. Audrin, you're on watch, just kind of at night, lounging about deck, whatever you'd be doing. Not relaxing per se because you're on watch, but like leaning against something. And you see something strange in the water, several hundred feet out. There's some sort of movement. Maybe like a brief flash of an immense black mass. And then it disappears. What do you do? You're not entirely sure if you saw it or not.
It's another slime.
How far out did you say it was?
Several hundred feet out. Which is why you're thinking it's pretty big, because the fact you noticed it in the darkness.
Yeah. I am going to light and actually hold on.
No. You're gonna light what?
A candle? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Oh, that doesn't increase the range of that, unfortunately. Man, I would a slingshot or something. I guess I could like light an arrow fire and shoot it out that way.
Sure, yeah. Want to do that?
Yeah, I just want to like see if I can get a better visual.
Yeah.
Even just like brief.
Yep. Yeah, so we see Audrin, grab
Wait a second. I mean, I could do firebolt.
That's true.
But oh, never mind. If it gets out of range. No, I guess I can do it.
I don't know if firebolt explicitly illuminates something though. Like it's typically like you shoot it at something. So I guess you could try to shoot it at the thing, but
Well, I would shoot it I would shoot it off towards.
Yeah, but I mean, you can do it. I just don't think it's going to do anything mechanically for you to be able to see this thing, because there are other spells that explicitly illuminate things, and this one does not do that.
Well, part of me was wondering if I could do something like with minor illusion.
I don't think so, no.
Yeah.
I don't think you can generate light with an illusion, per se.
Yeah, I can't create light, smell, or any other sensory effect.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, either way, I think we just maybe see Audrin grab a bow from the side of the ship here, because you don't carry a bow, but there's probably someone with a bow on board.
Yeah.
And you just light an arrow on fire, and then just fire it off into the night. And we just see the kind of eerie, there's no music in the soundtrack right now. We just see the eerie arc of the arrow in the air, and it definitely lights something up for a moment, right? And as it's coming down, you see a sinuous shape just receding into the water, maybe the tail of a thing, right? And then the arrow plops into the water, sizzles out, and everything goes dark again. What do you do?
I wake everyone up.
Yeah. So we see Audrin start to wake everybody up. And,
yeah.
What?
I wake everyone up, and
I just had my lunch.
Assume battle stations.
Yeah, you get everybody ready, and there's honestly, I think you're not even finished with the preparations before I think Tavi, who's on watch with you, right? He's probably still watching while you rouse everybody. And we just watch him as we hear the sounds of people getting ready below, right? Maybe Jax Kennedy comes up with some of the gunner, or
the gunners are dead.
Gunners are dead, yeah. So we see Jax Kennedy. We see Jax Kennedy come up and start loading a pistol. And Tavi's just standing there looking out over the ocean, and then suddenly we just see a shape come up right in front of him, and it's just an immense eye the size of a tower shield, and he just stares at it, and Jax looks over and goes to finish loading and bring up the pistol, and by the time he's done so, the thing has receded back into the water. And by the time everybody else gets up on board and gets ready or whatever, nothing else happens the rest of the night. It's just this incredibly eerie, everyone doesn't get any sleep that night. No one knows what the thing was. Tavi just is describing this to you guys oh my gosh, it was this huge yellow eye, and but it just disappears and no one knows where it goes.
Can we make any sort of nature or arcana or something?
Mm-hmm. Either of those works.
Audrin.
I'll. I mean, shoot. I feel like I want to make an arcana and a history check.
You can do either.
I can help with arcana.
We can help with history.
I can help with history.
27 arcana, okay. And 27 history.
Okay.
Crit
and
success.
it was a crit.
Yeah. Audrin, you have no idea. It's one of those things where Audrin knows, he's so used to having the answer for everything, and everyone looks to him, and it's you know what this is, right, Audrin? And you're just and it's one of those things, Audrin, there are just some things that nobody knows.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Audrin confidently has no clue.
No idea. And maybe it honestly is maybe you just hear the voice of a mentor from your past in your mind just basically say there are some things that no men know, that no man knows. Just there are secrets hidden from all of us. And I literally, it's just the next couple days pass and you never see this thing again. And maybe you'll never know what that was.
So
it was another gin.
Everything is secretly a gin.
Yes. Now we must write a folk song or sea shanty or something about this mythical creature.
Indeed.
I'll leave that to Takewee.
Of course.
There you go.
I was gonna say I have Tavi, because he was sketching earlier.
Yeah.
I have Tavi sketch out everything as vividly as he can.
He just draws the giant eye. Yeah.
How big are we talking? Like 5 feet? Like 10 feet?
The size of a tower shield is what I described. So, but honestly, probably even bigger than that. That's what the original note said. But I'm thinking the diameter of the eye, it was Tavi's height, right? So like almost 6 foot. 6 foot diameter eye.
Pretty big.
Which I think that's about the size of a tower shield. So yeah, that fits.
Tavi's taller than I thought.
Yeah, he's a tall, strapping young man.
All of a sudden, he got more attractive.
Do you have your eyes?
Takeaway's like, listen, Audrin, I'm not interested in you, but
but Tavi.
But yeah. One last call for any conversations you guys would like to have before things are going to start to get a little crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Audrin writes down everything that he experienced that night, and like all the information, like the arrow and how far off they were when he saw this lump, and it writes down every bit of it for the Adamant League stuff. And
oh yes, the Adamant League will be very interested in this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyone else?
All
right. Up until this point, the expedition has been lucky. You had clear weather without a storm in sight, right? Maybe a couple of overcast days, but that's about the biggest. That luck ends when you reach February 20th in this particular stretch of the Atlantic Ocean. Late at night, the wind whips into a frenzy, and by dawn, the ships are caught in a full-fledged storm. You can't even tell it's dawn, though, because it's still so dark. Sea Wyvern's captain, Audrin, must make a DC-20 water vehicles proficiency check to maintain control of the ship. Failure indicates that the ship is driven off course by the storm. Let's start there.
Can I give him a bardic at all?
Sure, yeah. Bardic and guidance can happen.
I'll give guidance, and do I have a spell that helps with this, actually? No, I don't. I have Tidal Wave. I can make it worse.
So
sounds like something Deli would do.
Yeah, make it worse so it's a DC 25. Thanks. I think Audrey can break 30.
I don't think what Deli could do with her tidal wave spell is going to make the D6 significantly harder.
Well, I mean,
you conjure a wave of water that crashes down on an area within range. The area can be up to 30 feet long, up to 10 feet wide, up to 10 feet tall.
So you could maybe capsize the ship, but the scale of the roll Audrin is making will not be affected by one wave. So. But Audrin, you can make that roll if you'd like, and it sounds like you have a bardic and some guidance.
Bardic and guidance, and that would be with intelligence.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, because it's like navigation. You're trying to know where to go in the storm.
Yeah.
Like you lose sight almost immediately of the blue Nixie in front of you, right? It's just like wind is whipping, and you're like not sure.
Could I help with my? Oh, actually, probably not. Drift Globe only gives like. I was thinking the Drift Globe would help with the daylight spell, but I don't know if that would actually help anything.
Yeah, with like the torrents of rain that are falling down, it might not, right? It might be like trying to put your brights on in fog. Like it's just going to make it worse.
Sphere of bright light of 60 feet with additional 60 feet of dim light. So, yeah, not really. Especially since it's that big.
Yes, exactly. In the scale of what's happening here, probably won't matter.
Okay. I have a story to tell about Audrin.
Okay.
The event that made him want to become a captain was when he was in the Crimson Fleet, and they got caught in this horrible storm. I was terribly afraid. He was very young, but he noticed the fearlessness and the confidence of the person at the helm. And as they were navigating the storm, and Audrin realized that that's the fearlessness that he needed in his life, and just really loved the idea of. Like and like they made it out obviously, and he was able to navigate through that. And Audrin just thought that was the really cool point of strength that he wanted to take after.
Yeah, can you tell me a little bit more about this person?
So it was, I mean, obviously because this was the and this was a very orc ship, correct? Yeah.
Say all that again. You're cutting out.
So this is the Crimson, and the ship the captain was an orc captain.
Yes.
And preferred mostly orc crewmates.
Mhm.
So the guy who was doing it was this big burly orc. He had like he tended to like wear, as orcs sometimes they would prefer not wear the shirt, but he had like he had a bugbear pelt and like and he was somebody that really didn't say a lot unless it was like related to the ship. Or related to the ship.
So never really Audrey could have the illusion that maybe this guy's okay. He's never said anything mean to me, at least.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like Audrey's never really had conversations with him unless he's received a direct order during like something like this.
Yep. Cool. Take advantage, my friend.
All right.
Watch it be double crit fails.
Don't say that, Caleb. Hey.
Crit success. So
hey,
roll that guidance. Use the guidance in the bardic.
Got to see if you
break that 30.
Can we get that on a t-shirt? Like
that does seem to be the
roll
new
the break
running
30.
Joke. Yeah.
Roll the break 30.
Roll the break 30.
Did it?
He hasn't rolled it yet.
D4 and a D6 should.
Right,
yeah, he breaks
we
it.
hit 30.
36.
Can we do 35? Let's do 35. We did 35. 36.
Very good. Yeah. So Audrin, this is what you were made for, right?
Okay. With that roll, can we also make sure that I don't know.
Takewee has never been more attracted to you ever than at this moment right now.
That's fair. Honestly, we have like a weird parallel. Like we saw the flashback with Audrin, right? But we see like a parallel moment where Takewee is like watching Audrin do the same thing, right? And we have the exact same pose that he's making that the orc made, and like it's all very similar. But Takewee is obviously looking on, not with just with like admiration, but like adoration at Audrin. Cool.
Yeah, Audrin is like dead focused on getting everybody through the storm without losses if possible.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like just in the zone.
Yeah. Yeah, so unfortunately, the navigator of the Blue Nixie had to make their own roll.
That's what I was wondering, is if with a 36 we could...
So I don't know. Like, I don't know how much control Audrin has over that, right? Like, as much as cool as a 36 is, like, I don't know if there's any way besides using magic that I don't think simple, like, talking to each other by sending spells is going to work here. Like, I don't know if there's that you have something that would allow you to know where the Blue Nixie is and be able, like, this is all about Audrin being able to stay on course. So whether or not, if the Blue Nixie also stays on course, then that's one thing, right? But like,
yeah,
because that's the thing, right? If he can't both, if the Blue Nixie gets off course, he can't both stay on course and go with the Blue Nixie, right? One or the other has to happen.
But with the 36, could he, obviously that we don't have to do this, but just throwing it out there, could he flawlessly captain us with the Blue Nixie, but also know exactly where course, like how to get back on course quickly?
Yeah, go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, I'm like,
I was gonna say it be that Audrin just being hyper observant as to everything that's going on. We could maybe do a luck roll to see if he's able to see this. Mm-hmm. But if he's able to catch and figure out where they're going, so by the time they're Audrin has an idea of where the Blue Nixie goes. Yeah,
so I think this will become clear.
So Audrin will know where the Blue Nixie goes off course.
So this will become. I made the rolls like beforehand for all of these things. So I think it will become clear as soon as you get it out of the storm, you get a sending spell, because you have sending stones and things. You get a spell from Lavinia, and basically she tells you can make your decision at this point. But like she basically tells you like we're fine, but we're obviously like off course. We're going to be coming in on this. We're going to go around the south side of the island, where you guys are planning on going around the north side of the island originally. And there's not really any particular reason why you need to meet back up. So she's just basically like don't make it a longer trip than it has to be. Like we'll just go around each side and meet up at Far Shore. Like there's no particular reason we need to. We're almost there at this point. Like just keep going.
Can I roll an insight check on the DM if that's total BS?
No, you cannot. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We're insight. See if Lavinia is really just trying a little bit away from Audrin, and she actually caused the storm. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So the thing is, like from a like character perspective, there's just no reason why you would like delay the voyage unnecessarily, just to meet back up again at this point. And I know like all of our story instincts are going off right now, right? As they should be, like 100% should be, right? It's just that, you know, given the way that, I just don't think it makes sense.
You play into the story. You don't run from it.
Yes.
You don't delay it.
You go, it's Pirates of the Caribbean. You just go straight into the maelstrom instead of trying to get away from it. Use it to, you know, swing around and then escape the black hole, you know?
So basically, now mechanically, are we getting to Far Shore like 2 days before them? Is that like the thing?
Yo, I think so. That seems that's probably how it will shake out. Something like that. I have to look at the exact numbers again. But now I need oh, I guess I made these rolls already. So, but you know, I'm gonna ignore this. I wouldn't be able to make these rolls for you at this point. So, at this point, you don't have the Blue Nixie to do the navigating for you. You have a slightly less modifier. So now Audrin needs to be making the rolls for the navigation. So if you would like to make 4 days worth of navigation rolls for me, that would be excellent.
Okay.
I'll
So
real quick double check
vehicles, not
what the
water
rolls. It'll be. Let me double check my notes. It's a nature check because it's about like navigating by the stars and things, right? So yeah, whoever has a good nature check, I think it was Tabby.
I thought we said it was Tabby.
It was
Didn't
Tabby.
we say Tabby was going to make these?
That's what it was. He has a 7 in it, I think. Yeah, the other guy had an 8, but Tabby has a 7.
Because I remember specifically we only had like one less than them.
So the base DC to just stay on course is a 16. So we'll just go ahead and see here. If you like, the way it works is like if you fail, the next roll is harder, but if you get that roll, you'll still be on course, and that can happen 2 times before you actually get lost. It's just the DC gets harder every time.
Yeah, I do have a question. I have navigator's tools.
Are you proficient with them?
Yeah.
That
well, actually, I don't know. All of my proficient, all on these has a question mark.
right.
I don't know why it has a question mark instead of whether
So
or not I'm
that's
proficient.
basically like that's saying it doesn't. It usually would list an attribute there, but it's
Oh,
going
I
to
see, I
query
see.
you about it. Yeah. Navigator's tools make sense here. Honestly, like I didn't realize that D&D 5e had navigator's tools as a thing. So you can make it if you would like, Audrin.
I mean, it would be my intelligence modifier, right? So it would be 7 either way.
Okay, perfect. Let's just have you make the roll. You're the captain anyway, so just
Okay.
go for
And
it.
he can get guidance from me.
Yeah.
Which is fitting, 'cause that's exactly. Oh,
Yep. First
Didn't
day's
need
fine.
it.
Go into second day. You broke 20.
That's not as cool, Caleb.
So second day might be fine if you can get your. Well,
He
actually,
needs
with
to roll
guidance,
1.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, so you're fine for second day. Third day is fine, and then just one more day, and then the next thing will happen. Yep, and you're good for the second day or fourth day. Cool. So, I believe this
Audrey
is.
stretching his sea legs.
I believe this is we're at February 24th now. Is what I have. And let me. And let's go ahead and take a break.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then jump into it next. So I'll make sure I'm ready with my notes here, and then We'll be right back with some more Terra Invicta right after this. Stay around.